Welcome to day 51 of 1,350 days. Now there's a huge amount of sales to report this week, 32 in fact. So the sales figure leaps up to 1,138. And this is by far the largest amount of books I've sold on Amazon in 1 week. I said the previous week, I can't remember what day it was exactly, but I'd sold 10 books last week on Amazon. I said that was the most I'd ever sold in 1 week. Now it is 32. All records are broken and shattered. However, it's not completely all good news because, as I mentioned in the previous 2 videos, this is largely down to Amazon Marketing Services, me investing some money in advertising, and as a result my book is being promoted, getting more visible, and more people are buying it. However, when I look on my Amazon Marketing Services sales page, the news isn't quite as positive. Although I've made more money than I've spent, when you actually calculate the royalties I'm receiving, I'm actually operating at a loss. I worked it out that I made $75 and I've spent $140. Even though on my Amazon page it says I've made $210 or $215, that's the amount of sales I've received. You've got to remember that Amazon takes 30% of my Kindle sales and something like 90% of my paperback sales. So my book is on sale for I think $10, around $10, $10.50 on Amazon.com. I will only get probably close to $2 royalty for that. So all of the money I've made, Amazon gets a big chunk of it. But I'm not too upset about that. I'm still really pleased with the number of book sales I've received, and I'm choosing to look at it as in I'm investing some money to hopefully at some point in the future I'll reap more rewards. The way I see it is that this will increase my book's visibility, potentially attract more buyers that way, also maybe bump me up the rankings a bit higher, so then people see the book and people will organically buy it without having come across the ad first. I'm also thinking that amongst those people who are now at the increase in sales, I might get some people who become real fans of my work, who buy future books, who sign up to my website, who will buy future courses that I'm going to release. So there are lots of positives, even though I'm actually losing money at the moment. And I've still got time to refine and fine tune the whole AMS campaigns. Thibaut Maurice, who I've mentioned before on this channel, is helping me with it. He's using AMS with great success on his books. So he's sort of tutoring me and mentoring me through it. So we're going to refine our strategy. There's still a lot of scope for fine tuning and tweaking to hopefully ensure that I'm not only making sales, but I'm making money on the sales. Now, when it comes to the subject of making money on my books, I think it's worth telling you guys exactly how much I've made, or approximately how much I've made, because whereas I know my exact sales figures, I don't know how much money I've received. Now, obviously the count is 1,138 at the moment. I can say that that's probably made me, I would say, close to £3,000. Maybe that's an exaggeration. Maybe high £2,000, 2,800, 2,700 pounds. That's all I've made through all the years I've been selling my book. That's all the money I made from the book. I have made money from other things, but you got to understand that royalties aren't great. When I sell a book, a Kindle copy of my book, I'm probably only making close to £1.90, probably less than £2, definitely less than £2. When I sell a paperback, as I explained earlier, I'm making, again, probably only £1.50, unless I sell the paperback directly. If I sell that at one of my talks, I'm probably making £3 per copy. So that bumps it up a little bit. Then there are some exceptional sales. Yeah, selling through my website. Now that's how I make a little bit more money, or selling on Gumroad. There the book may sell for $4 and I would probably see over $3 of that. So we're talking close to close to £3 on that. So all in all, I'm saying around £2,800. So not a huge amount of money. That's why when you're an author, you've got to go for big sales. You've got to go for 1 million copies. And that's why the goal of this channel is to sell 1 million copies by the 18th of March 2023. That's the only way I'm ever only going to see some financial return from this whole project, is by selling in large quantities. But it's not all about the sales. It's just as important, actually more importantly, is the reward I get from knowing that my book has had an impact on another person. And speaking on that, I just got a WhatsApp message today from a reader of mine saying how Escape the System had influenced him many years ago, and he'd made notes at the time when he was reading the book, and he was delighted to tell me that now in 2019, after having read the book, I think at the start of 2016, he had fulfilled all the goals he'd set himself. And that's just a huge, huge boost for me. It's the reason I write. It's the reason I persist with this, despite the struggles in the past with sales, despite, as I've revealed to you, the lack of financial return. I persist because I'm a huge believer in the power of books, their ability to connect deep within somebody and touch them. I've been touched by different books during my life. My biggest hope is that my book and my future books do the same. So that brings day 51 to a close. Join me in 3 days' time for the next episode of 1350 Days.